Hello, everybody, and again, this is Justin Pontarelli, and here we are again doing some Interstellar Pilot. And you've probably seen this type of video before for Interstellar Pilot, but I wanted to have a go at it and give you my own rendition of how to basically hijack and or steal a Magnus, or basically any other vessel that you can dock with. I believe including the Overlord class vessels as well. Alright, and from what I've understood, this even works even if you haven't purchased the expansion packs. But I would argue, do the guys that produce this game a favor, buy the expansion packs, because the game is provided for free, and these expansions are very cheap, very affordable, and even if you don't, for example, get the Thunder Frigate pack, at least get the Capital Ships pack, because it opens up a lot of possibilities in the game that you don't have access to otherwise. And for the little bit of money that you pay for it, it's well worth it. Okay? But, so I'm just providing you with this information for fun, just to show you, this little, I'm not sure if you would call it a glitch, or an exploit, but hey, it's fun, and let's make a video out of it. So, first I gotta try to find one of my files where I think we could possibly make this work. And I'm going to say this file right here might be the one to use. This is in a sandbox mode, as you can tell. It's a tiny universe map, only 3 sectors. And in this game I've started off as a refinery owner. I traded in my first vessel to get a smaller mining vessel, and I also ended up purchasing, I think, 1 or 2 level 5 turrets. So, I should say laser turrets. Anyway, let's hop into it. I'll show you more about the file real quick as I try to hunt down a Magnus for the purpose of this demonstration. So basically this video is going to be about how to hijack a Magnus, either for your own personal use or just to sell it for money. But in my opinion, taking advantage of this exploit or this glitch, in my opinion, really seriously defeats the purpose of the game, which is to basically climb up the ladder, so to speak. Oh, there it is right there. So let's see here. Is he trading? He is. Awesome. Perfect. Well then, let's do this. Okay, so step 1 is to find a Magnus or any other ship that you can dock with that is on a trade route. Okay, or possibly even on a passenger run. And then exit your ship once you're docked. Don't undock, just exit. So now here he is, he's docked. And see how in this list, I'm going to pause it, where it says his name, it says Magnus A-Class Tracker. It's listed as the current ship. Notice how it says current ship. Okay? As opposed to, my Orion class vessel being listed as the current ship, but since I'm docked inside the Magnus, it's listed as my current ship. But it still lists Solar as the faction. Now, since he's a trader, he's going to trade with my station, and then he'll undock because he has to complete his trade route. So let's watch what happens now. But as I was saying, this really defeats the purpose of the fun of the game of going through missions, earning credits, attacking ships for fun, whatever it is you do for money in this game. This is kind of like, well, almost cheating. Now here, so check this out, okay? So what happened? So he leaves the station, and you're inside the ship. Your ship is still docked inside. But look at how right now we have the autopilot menu pulled up. It says autopilot enabled in the upper left-hand corner of the screen. Okay? And on the right-hand column, you can see all the weapons that the ship has pulled up as well, which you would typically not see if you were just riding along in this vessel. Okay, docked in this vessel. So you can already tell something's up. Now, I know there's another step to this, so let's take a look here. Hold on a second. We don't have that long because he's going to be docking with another station and selling what he has, so I'm also trying to remember all the proper steps to take to make this work for you. So let's go to property. Let's see if our... so let's get rid of cargo and turrets. Okay, is that Orion listed yet? No, that's weird. Okay. Don't know if I messed up or not, but... okay, let's try something. Let's take off autopilot. Ship orders. Yeah, that was what we want to do. Let's put them on a fleet. Okay. Let's see if that worked. Let's go to fleet settings. I'll just say, let's undo this for fun. Let's pick a base. Have it go to my refinery. He's on a fleet now. Let's try this. So I think one of the tricks to it was to assign the vessel to the fleet, to a fleet, once it has exited the station. So basically once you're at this point of seeing, its weapons and stuff, then what you want to do is assign it to a fleet. Let's see if that worked. Might be one more step to this. Property. Oh, there it is, right there, see? Bingo. Magnus, A-class. Tracker. Part of Fleet 8. It is now idle. So, you should be able to fly it around now, I think. Let's see if I can find a place to dock for fun. Okay, other than my own station. Let's go there. I want to go to a military outpost. Okay. Now again, in my opinion, though, this really ruins the game, because if you take advantage of this, call it a glitch or whatever, if you take advantage of this exploit, then first of all, you can get free money by selling the vessel, okay, which I'll show you shortly, which you wouldn't have had before. You're not going to just make 1 million plus credits just by doing nothing. That's ridiculous. But if you want to, you can take advantage of this glitch. That's up to you. This is just really for educational and entertainment purposes only. I did actually do this once in a game, and I saved it. And I really decided it wasn't for me because it really ruined it for me, because I was working on like a pirate or bandit themed game, and all of a sudden I had enough credits to buy an army of little hornet ships. Okay? And it's like, well, I didn't earn it, didn't work for it, so I didn't have the fun of going through the process of getting those credits. But anyway, let's continue on to the base here. Okay? Dock. So you can sell the ship if you want to. Okay, that's, you know, hey, a million free credits, can't go wrong, right? You can, assaults weaponry. This one's loaded with the water still that it got from my base. You know, like this stuff I wouldn't keep anyway, so I'll get rid of all that. I don't know, for fun, let's get some equipment on this thing, huh? I remember in another video I wanted to see about longer range weapons, as opposed to, like, say, like the laser 5s. I'm gonna check the range real quick on the artillery piece. Okay, so that's range 500. Yeah, so that's interesting. The range on the laser 5 is actually longer, so in my opinion, the laser 5 is probably better, although it does take a bit of energy. But anyway, let's go to equipment anyway, just for fun. Let's equip this thing up. We've already basically done what we set out to do, but that's, you know, hey. So anyway, front left, laser 5, front right, another laser 5, front turret, yep, you got it, laser 5. Main turret, let's make that a smaller laser 4, actually, because let's see here. You know, we could technically maybe drop it down to a laser 3. Anyway, let's just do laser 4. Rear left turret, yeah, you got it, laser 5. Rear right, yep, laser 5. Rear turret, let's do laser 4. The top turret, laser 4. I have seen a ship equipped with all laser 5s before, but the energy has got to be extreme, so as long as we have this thing, let's go play with it. We're gonna have some fun with this thing. Let's wreak some havoc with it, shall we? So let's buy all the best equipment for it if we can afford it. I think we can. We're not going to bother with the passenger module. Let's get a really nice capacitor. Tractor beam. Awesome. Okay, we're all set. So now if this works, we should be able to undock. Let's go to orders. So now it's back to your so now it's no longer assigned to a fleet. We can have it preferred to dock, I guess. Stance can be intercept hostiles, and we'll pick a base for it again. And there you go. I think it should still have this ship docked. Undock. Ship orders. Now at this point, let's see if we still have the big ship, okay? Or did we mess up? Oh, look at that, we still have it. So there you go. So let's review what we did here, okay? You know, so you find a larger vessel that you can dock with that's headed out on either a trade route or a passenger run. The point is, they have to dock with the station in order for this trick to work. Okay, so you take your ship, you dock with the larger vessel, and then you exit your own ship. Don't undock, exit. Just exit the ship. Okay? So, after exiting, you're going to be basically walking around inside the ship. Okay, so that when the ship docks, if you check the dock list, the vessel that you are inside of, the large vessel, will be listed as the current ship. And then when the ship undocks to complete its trade run or its passenger run, or to go on another passenger run, for example, okay, you're going to have that menu coming up in the thing coming up in the upper left-hand corner, telling you that it's doing some autopiloting, and you're going to have the weapons pulling up on the right-hand side, okay? So, and then, as we noticed, you go to your log, go to property, and then right away, though, the ship did not come up in our property list. So to finish off the trick, you need to assign it to a fleet. Okay? And after that, everything should be all set. So we have water in our cargo hold. Just for fun, let's go ahead and drop it off somewhere. And then we're gonna go have some fun, like I said. Okay? You got a Magnus, let's have a party, okay? Of course, in this file, I could easily have bought my own Magnus, but just to give a quick review while I'm at it of the Magnus, what I love about it is the fact that you can have level 5 lasers on it, and these things are ridiculously powerful, and you can basically assault pirate bases all on your own without really even needing any backup. Okay? And you can just tear your enemies to shreds. But what I hate about them is, first of all, they have zero, basically no anti-missile protection at all, okay? Meaning no ECM, and you are completely vulnerable to missile strikes. And in reality, in this game, a ship loaded with missiles, even a smaller vessel like the Orion, can take down a Magnus very quickly. Very quickly. Turning this into a $1 million+ credit investment piece of garbage. But in terms of it being like a flying, vessel of destruction, let's face facts here. You can take down bases with this very quickly. You can take on smaller, even armies of smaller craft very successfully, but it's not perfect, okay? It really is not perfect. The thing is slow, and if it starts to get swarmed, you can be in trouble very quickly. Alright, so let's get rid of that water. Awesome. Undock. Let me show you the map I'm on real quick. I think I've already told you it's a small map. So there you go. That's it. We're actually going to go ahead and go to Reddit's, or whatever you want to, however you pronounce that. Because I know there's a pirate faction. So let's go pick on some pirates, and we'll be done with this video. But if you already saw what you wanted to see, I hope I have explained it thoroughly. And I did not mean to run down the Magnus class vessel, but after experimenting with the Magnus myself before, which I have done before, I realized that yes, it is big and bulky and has access to great weaponry, but it's not perfect. It's definitely vulnerable to being swarmed by smaller, faster ships. And it basically has no missile protection, so if you get hit by a missile, you're on your own. Okay, you really are. And at that point, you have nothing to help yourself. Or, you can't defend yourself at that point. Let's find that pirate base, shall we? Alright, there we are. I think I was working with this file earlier, and I wiped out a pirate faction on this in this particular sector, and I had already saved it. So now this pirate base might not be a whole lot left to really mess with. So, but we're gonna hope that some ships are gonna come out, and at the very bare minimum, you'll get to see a guy take on a base, and hopefully some vessels come out to play with us. So you can see that I'm not completely against this vessel. It's great for assaulting bases, and there you go. All right, so we got some company. Let's stop here. Let's kind of park. Focus on your nearest target. And get ready with your guns. Okay, and again, rinse, lather, repeat. Kind of rotate your ship around. Right, now, in my opinion, this is when stuff gets real, because I can't stop those missiles. Now, if anyone that's played this game knows how to do it, let me know. If you know how to shoot down missiles with lasers. I've tried before. I can't do it. I never figured it out. So, as someone who has more experience playing this game, I really prefer using ECM now to stop missiles. I'll use ECM level 2, and that works out fine. Anyway, so didn't take a whole lot of damage, but you still have to watch out for those level 5 laser turrets. But since we have 3 front-mounted level 5 lasers, this should actually be pretty easy. Just got to be very careful and watch your range. Alright, slow down, we're getting close, you know? Don't want to rush up there. Now, notice how we already have the option to use our lasers on the station. This is perfect. Let's do this. Oh. That was bad. That's okay. So now, if this happens, just... Oopsie. Just kind of wiggle around and shoot them. Literally just keep rotating yourself around. And with your superior range and superior firepower, a few ships aren't that big a deal, okay? But like I said, if you actually get swarmed, I mean, realistically, literally swarmed, you are going to find yourself in a bad situation. But 3 to 4 ships is not a swarm, okay? Well, let's say, for example, I take on a real faction. You're going to find yourself being targeted by turrets and lots of ships. And it gets to be a little difficult to deal with. But anyway, so this process here is a little bit lengthy, as you can tell, but in reality, check it out. It's getting the job done, isn't it? But the cool thing is those turrets cannot fight back. Until I'm closer. Which means, unlike even the military launchers and interceptors, you can actually take out level 5 turrets with the Magnus without taking a scratch. So when you're assaulting a pirate base, the only thing you have to worry about is are their ships. Since we're doing a good job here, we're gonna I want to watch the distance to the other ship as well, or the other turret as well. But yeah, so this is really okay. Honestly, this was really okay. Obviously, it's a lengthy process because, you know, missiles actually take out turrets faster. But with the superior range on the Magnus mounted laser, laser 5, you can actually rip these stations and stuff to shreds without taking a scratch. So this is really pretty cool. I like to get in real close now and, molest these things here. And just like I've done before in a previous video, if you've just taken out a pirate base, it's always interesting to check for scrap, because the scrap will tell you if your enemy's alive or dead. Oh, impulse. That's rare. Awesome. Huh. Neat. Okay. Well, anyway. So, in case you're relatively new to the game and don't know what I'm talking about, so the scrap here would be from the enemy vessels that I had destroyed while attacking the base, okay? And typically, things like missiles and mines and ECM will have a faction label next to it, telling you what faction it belongs to or what faction it came off of. But if it's no longer labeled, like in the case of these Achilles missiles, it just doesn't give a faction name, meaning you have wiped out the faction. And to verify this, you just go here. We'll just sort by name. We're looking for CETA, CETA, and it looks like they're gone. Since it was a pirate faction, this is actually quicker. Show minor factions, opinion, and Leopard's the only one left. Okay, so there you go. Now, like I said, we want a real challenge, though. We want to have some real fun. Start some real chaos. Let's go pick on a real power. But first, let's get repaired, shall we? I don't like the thought of having shields that are not charged up. But so far, I hope you like it. Like I said, I hope I've done a good job explaining how to take over the vessel. You know, or getting to the outpost. Let's review. Dock with a large vessel, preferably a Magnus or a Overlord that's about to go on a cargo run. Once you're docked, exit your ship. It's going to go to its destination and dock, and then undock. Just wait through the process and just be patient and wait. Once it's undocked, you're going to see its weapons, and you're going to notice it's on autopilot. Almost as if you were in one of your own ships that had been given orders to do an autopilot run. The only difference is when you go to your properties list, as we pointed out, or as we noticed, we did not immediately see the ship appear on the list. And then to finish the trick, you assign it to a faction. Okay, you assign it to a faction. Or sorry, not a faction. You assign it to a fleet And then after that, it should appear in your property list. So even if you exit the vessel like we did, it should not return back to its original owner. Now, on the other hand, if we were to have left the Magnus and exited the Magnus for any reason before it had been assigned to one of our fleets, then it would have returned back to its original owner, or at least so I've been told. Or so I've read. Okay? But yeah. So like I said, if you just, wanted to watch the video to get those instructions, we're pretty much done, except I'm going to go ahead and attack these guys for fun. And by these guys, I mean Lynx. Because, like I said, attacking a pirate faction is one thing, but attacking an actual mainline faction is another thing altogether. In terms of what a Magnus is capable of. Because in my opinion, it is a capable craft, but it has its weaknesses. In fact, I would argue that, an Ares, an Orion, an Overlord, all of them can actually beat a Magnus if you're properly equipped. And by properly equipped, I mean, anything with a significant amount of military grade launchers shooting interceptors. Because as you can tell, in terms of equipment, okay, you do not have any ECM launchers. Not one. Okay? Any missiles coming your way, unless you know how to shoot them down. If you can, if you know how to do that, tell me. If not, well, there you go. Okay? Using electronic countermeasures is a lot easier than having to manually shoot out or shoot down missiles. A lot easier to do ECM and just, shoot them down that way. Alright, so let's get his attention by taking out his turret. First, let's see what else he has. He has the that turret there, up and coming shipyard, and yeah, that's not a big deal. Okay, there's probably some ships around, but let's be surprised, shall we? Let's be surprised. And in reality, let's take a look at who his allies are. Factions. There's Ares Lynx defense. Hey, none apparently. So we should be able to just start attacking him, and we'll see what he has laying around for his own defensive purposes, shall we? And that should get us into a fight real quick. Oh, I'm surprised it didn't automatically declare war. Oh, there we go. War has been declared. Alright. I'm actually surprised that he has no patrollers around anywhere. He's got enough money to open up a shipyard, but not enough to defend his base, or not enough ships to defend his base. Or if he does, they're out and about in other sectors, not where they should be, which is weird. Well, his loss, right? Not mine. Hopefully he has more somewhere and we can actually play around with him. If not, we'll have to pick other fights, I guess. Until we get a nice, until we get like a real opponent. So this video's kind of getting long. So if no ships come along to defend him, we'll just stop the video after I take out the shipyard. Oh, finally! Now we're talking, right? It's not a lot of defense, but I'm okay with it. All right, let's roll. Let's party. All right, well. That's painful, huh? You know, that's really painful. You know, granted, though, I mean, I survived all the missile hits, but... if this game had a multiplayer mode, I think realistically, Magnus's would become a joke because they're very vulnerable to missile strikes, and a serious defense can easily be launched against a Magnus without a problem. And although I think surprise attacks would probably be really common, I think if you prepared yourself properly, you can defend against a Magnus. It's not difficult. You know, that's my main point, I guess, is that, especially when I was new, it was like, okay, it's a Magnus, that's scary looking, right? You know, this is the real deal here. Like, how can you defeat a Magnus? You can't. Well, play the game more often and eventually you learn that actually you can defeat a Magnus. And it's not difficult. Alright, so I'm going to defeat this station. And unless any other ships come along to try to stop me, we're going to end the video. And don't worry, I'm not going to save the game because I don't want a Magnus. Don't need a Magnus. Although obviously in this kind of file, who can complain, right? But I would like to earn my own. And again, like I said, you know, really give credit where credit is due and be kind to the guys who made this game for us to play for free. You know, throw them a little bone and buy the expansion packs, guys. Because for a couple bucks extra, you get access to the Magnus. You can buy it. You can buy a trade station. You can buy Overlords and Ares class vessels. You know, you can buy a refinery. You can start off as a refinery owner, or you can actually have a Magnus to start. Okay, with escort vessels too. So yeah, not that the game's not playable without it, because you can become successful in this game without a trade station or a refinery or a Magnus. Okay, you can do it. Before I bought the packs, I was doing quite well without all this awesome stuff. But as you can tell, having a Magnus is rather fun. And yeah, let's check one thing. Did I actually kill Lynx? I did not. I see he's got a hidden defender somewhere. Probably no more bases, though. We're not going to go hunting for him, though, and that's about it. Let's check on the... Oh, look at that. So, I got a bounty. Neat, right? Huh. Okay. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Yep. What was supposed to be a very short video turned into a very long video. Almost been at this for an hour. Wow. So if you've had the patience to watch this for over an hour, I appreciate your time and effort. I enjoy the view. Hey, if you want to like the video, if you don't, that's okay. I don't mind. I'm just here to share what I enjoy. All right. And if I had a way to self-destruct this ship just for fun, I would do it right now for fun. That'd be an interesting way to end this video, wouldn't it? Anyway, we're not going to though. See ya.